Okay, we've got some big industry news today. I am joined by Madeline Laurano. Hello, Madeline.
Hi, George.
And we've got Aman Brar, the CEO from Jobvite, who's got some big news for the market. Why don't we just, Aman, why don't you go ahead and get it all out there. Let everybody know what's going on today.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, George and Madeline. Super excited to announce that Jobvite is joining forces with JazzHR and NxtThing RPO to continue our path towards world domination. All joking aside, but our path towards becoming an end-to-end talent acquisition powerhouse. Related to that change, I'm also excited to announce, I was just thinking I onboarded our first Canvas customer about 4 years ago. Also excited to announce that it's time for a new actor for this next set of trilogies. Excited to introduce Pete Lamson as our CEO of the new Jobvite, and I'll continue to stay on for the transitional responsibilities this quarter and then shift to the Jobvite board of directors. So exciting day, but the main headline is that we're ready to support and serve everything from the SMB to the large enterprise in a new and exciting way as part of this new Jobvite. So thanks so much, George and Madeline, for having us on.
Yeah, big news. Congrats.
Yes.
Let's, before we get into some questions, why don't we hear from, well, Pete, we'll have you go first. You'll be moving in as the CEO. Congrats to you and JazzHR. Any initial thoughts on this that you'd like to share with the market?
Well, thank you, and big shoes to fill for sure. But we're really excited for what today's announcement means for the recruiting industry in general. And I think what this positions Jobvite and JazzHR and NxtThing to uniquely offer the marketplace is we now have specific purpose-built recruiting solutions for the SMB market. We have specific purpose-built recruiting solutions for the mid-market and enterprise space. Leading industry technology for both. None of that is going to change. Our brand will remain in place even. That's going to be consistent with how both companies, now sister companies, have operated for years. But what's even more compelling, or equally compelling on top of that, is we support both JazzHR and Jobvite with industry leading services from NxtThing and Terry and his business. So for businesses that are looking for not only cutting edge technology, but the human services to assist with recruiting for performance as well. All markets, Jobvite, JazzHR, and NxtThing RPO have our customers in our marketplace covered. So really exciting. We think it's unique in the space. No one is doing what we're doing, and really grateful to be a part of it.
That's a great segue to Terry. So we've got Jobvite, which covers middle market and enterprise between the Jobvite platform and telemetry recruitment marketing platform. We've got JazzHR, which is ATS and the SMB, and now the services and RPO comes in via NxtThing. Terry, what are your thoughts?
First, thanks, George and Madeline, for allowing us to kind of talk to the marketplace, but equally enthusiastic about what this means for not only our three brands, but what I believe for our customer base. I've spent my career in the RPO industry, and have certainly watched how technology has changed the landscape for RPOs. For NxtThing, it's critically important for us to have differentiated world-class technology for our clients, whether they're small or whether they're large. And listen, I have always wanted to be a part of a company that offers both technology and services as part of the talent acquisition value chain. So, I think we're in for a great ride. We're seeing the markets really starting to open up, and we're seeing vibrancy in the labor markets. So to be able to come to the market with differentiated technology and differentiated solutions or services, really think that we have the unique offering to offer the marketplace. So very excited about that.
Great. That's great. And it's such a big deal. And, it was a lot of times when I hear announcements like this, I'm not that surprised, right? It's like, oh, I was kind of expecting this. This one actually, I thought, wow, this is something different and exciting. Madeline, I'll hand it off to you to sort of give us your thoughts and take us into the first questions.
Yeah, thank you, George, and congratulations to everyone. I mean, it is such exciting news. And to me, the first thing that stands out is this is talent acquisition for everyone, right? Your Jobvite is going and saying every company, regardless of size, regardless of industry, should have access to great technology and should have access to great services. And that's a very strong differentiator, because that's absolutely not been the case for a lot of companies that just want to be at the enterprise market and don't have this depth in services in RPO, which is so needed right now. So I think it's really exciting news. I've been so impressed with Jobvite's commitment to TA. I think it's very exciting, especially when private equity gets involved, to say, let's explore other areas of HCM. And you've really stayed committed to an industry I know George and I feel so passionately about. So I think it's very, very exciting news. And my question is around the Jobvite customers. You know, there's been a great year. I know you've had a great year. The culture has been so strong at Jobvite. The services have been so strong, the customer support. What do you expect the reaction will be from Jobvite customers? What does this mean for them to now expand services and think about a focus on SMB as well?
Yeah, you know, it can sound a little to the contrary, but actually I believe this allows Jobvite brand to actually focus even more on its core segment and really make sure that our R&D investment is really focused on our sales and marketing investment, our people investment, our services investment is really focused on those core Jobvite customers. We just see so much opportunity out there that, you know, it was great to kind of partner with K1 on the right strategy to fulfill all of these needs across market segments. So quite frankly, I think you're going to see just a great, you know, Jobvite leadership team ready to continue to execute on behalf of customers. But the one tying thread to this whole thing that's been the case for the last couple of years is just an insane commitment to talent acquisition. And I think we're continuing to see that focus. And I think that per each kind of brand segment, you're going to see kind of a double down on focus. You know, prior to these deals being announced, we had already increased our R&D investment for the Jobvite core customer base. I think we're just going to see a lot of goodness there and to kind of have the right solution for the right customer segment, which ultimately I think will lead to more focus and better results and better outcomes for our customers.
Yeah.
There's plenty of opportunity in TA Tech. There's
lots.
Plenty of opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And Pete, you mentioned, I think this is important when we think about what it means for the market or for Madeline, to your point, to customers at large across the market. You'll be retaining those brands. So JazzHR will remain distinct, and Terry NxtThing will remain distinct as an RPO operating independently of the Jobvite customer base or go to market?
Yes, I think that with this announcement, everything changes and nothing changes. And what I mean by that is the combined solution that our three businesses can bring to our respective, and in some cases combined customer bases, is unmatched for the reasons we've talked about. Again, distinct tech-focused solutions backed by service. When I say nothing changes, all three brands remain intact. And for the customers of those three businesses, the service, the products, the technology, the people, none of that changes. And so for JazzHR or Jobvite or NxtThing customers, they will continue to engage with these three brands and these three companies just as they always have, and nothing will change in that respect. Again, to your point, George, including branding. Again, what does change is for JazzHR customers who are looking for a helping hand for services, we can now help them. They don't have to look elsewhere. And the same applies to Jobvite customers. Or if there is a JazzHR customer that is growing beyond kind of the size that is typically covered by a normal JazzHR customer, we seamlessly path them into Jobvite with no loss of data integrity or history and so forth. So the brands remain intact, the solutions remain intact, the people remain intact, and hopefully the benefits and recruiting results will remain as compelling as they ever been and continue to improve. But it's the expansion of additional technology and services where our combined customers need them that we think is so exciting.
As we're engaging with the space, we're not hearing any of our companies say they've got too much recruiting bandwidth right now. So we're really excited to add Terry to the mix. So yeah, I've not heard that one time, especially particularly after 2020. So.
That's great. Terry, I have a question because it's a real differentiator, right? To have RPO and technology in the same provider. And you really understand the RPO space. You've been in it for quite some time. What does that look like? Can you help us understand what the value and the benefit would be to be able to have a tech provider that has the RPO services as well?
Yeah, I think I think there's multiple advantages to having both technology and services that you can offer to a customer base. From a selfish perspective, as an RPO provider, I always want to come to our customer with a technology solution, irrespective of whether they have an in-house ATS, CRM, you name it. I have fundamentally believed for at least the last decade that the RPO provider should lead with technology. Now, it's all about services for sure, but we've watched technology change the face of talent acquisition over the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and that will not change. So for me, being able to have world-class technology, but more importantly, be able to take our clients on a technology journey with our services really is the true differentiator. And additionally, I think it's really important that the RPO provider can say, listen, we can handle your technology needs and your overall kind of recruiting services. To be able to offer that to a customer, I think is very different than what it has been historically. And I really look forward to talking to our customers. I've had a chance to give advance notice to some of our customers, and they've been genuinely excited because of the opportunities that presents to them. And whether it's to help us with a product roadmap, or whether it's to see how new technology can impact what it is that we're doing for them, just a world of opportunity. And it's so vibrant right now. I know I said that, but there is tremendous pressure. Companies are finding it very challenging to find the right people. So I believe fundamentally having the right technology, but also having the right people and the right services to kind of run that technology is core to long-term success in acquiring talent.
Yeah. Terry, I'd like to stay with you in the conversation for a moment. I think when we talk about the breadth of offering, I think everyone in the market, know the JazzHR brand in the SMB. They know Jobvite and telemetry in the middle and enterprise. And I've known you, Terry. Madeline's known you. We've known you for a long time. But one thing that I think is really interesting about this is the depth of expertise that that your team brings to JazzHR and Jobvite, or the new Jobvite. And Terry, can you just give everybody just a quick thumbnail sketch on your history in the RPO space, so that all the customers who watch this will get a sense of what's coming to the table here?
Yeah,
Who's coming to the table?
I've begrudgingly kind of adopted myself as grandfather of RPO, even though I don't like it. But I've had the great pleasure of being in the recruitment outsourcing industry for better than 20 years. Now, it's interesting because I think RPO has truly only been kind of an industry vertical for maybe 15 or 20. So I'm not quite sure what I did prior to that. But, RPO has grown up in the last, kind of 15 plus years. It is a business strategy that, many companies choose to deploy. And I think it will be even more important as we think about what's going to happen in the next 24 to 36 months coming out of COVID, seeing an economy that I think is going to be robust. But our team has 15, 20 years of experience really looking at every type of scenario you can imagine, whether it's hiring sales forces, or whether it's hiring purple squirrels, or whether it's starting up facilities, and seeing the various pressures. We've lived through the recession in 2001, the downturn in 2008, 2009. and COVID. I think COVID has the potential for having maybe the biggest impact on how companies recruit, because there's so many dynamics at play right now. There are some verticals like warehousing right now where it is nearly impossible to find the right talent. Companies are struggling to find the right people. And I think our team really comes to the table with not only the best way to recruit them, but now having kind of the power harnessed of all these technologies, whether it's a small company that, where we can deploy JazzHR, whether it's a mid-size or large enterprise where we can look at the breadth of technologies that we have to offer. It really, from my perspective, gives us a position in the marketplace that is unmatched in our opinion. So we really look forward to being able to take our experience, and whether it was with selective staffing or RightThing or now NxtThing, and being able to help our customers out, because there is tremendous need. All this technology is amazing. And, we do find confusion amongst, clients around what technology should I deploy? Is this right for me? Should I go ahead and try this? I believe now we have the opportunity to help guide them, and, to have our expertise kind of lead the way around what is the best tech to be able to deploy to them. It was a really
want to add that I take
short question. So
I
sorry.
take onboarding really seriously. And so we got Terry hooked up with a Discord account, Twitch, and TikTok. So worry not about his aging out of the space here. He's ready to go. He's ready to engage with this next generation of talent. So.
That's great. It was a great answer, Terry. And also, as you do, it was modest and about the team and the market. And you kind of skimmed over, and I'll tell everyone. So founder of SSI, which then became Aon's recruitment outsourcing. Then you started the RightThing, which became ADP's recruitment outsourcing offering. And then you ran all of the services and I think technology for ADP. And now the NxtThing. And here we are talking about this deal with Jobvite. So you can be modest, but just that's yeah.
Well, thank you, George. We've been very fortunate to be able to work with some great enterprises and kind of watch the market evolve. And what I really like about this is the combination of three kind of distinct brands to be able to attack our customer base with technology and solutions. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of all this experience and put it to good use.
Yeah. Madeline, I think we've got time for a few more questions. Anything else you'd like to explore?
Thanks, George. I think the only thing that I have left to ask is around what companies can expect in the next year. I mean, you've created certainly this huge powerhouse now with bringing together analytics and recruitment marketing, solutions for the SMB, RPO. What can companies, where will the focus be for Jobvite in the next year as you think about, services, technology, customer support, sales?
So this is a great point. I'm glad you asked, Madeline. So we are, while we are thrilled with the three companies coming together as we are today, for all the reasons we've talked about, we're also not standing still by any means. And we're blessed to be partnered with such strong investors in K1 Investment Management, and we will be investing significant capital into all three businesses to continue to advance our solutions. From a technology perspective, as we all know, that can't stay still, right? And staying ahead of the curve is critical, and we will continue across all three of our brands to do that, and on the people side as well. And so further investment across all three, consistent with where the three businesses have been heading. I mean, there's each of the three are so successful in their own right. We wouldn't expect any right-hand turns there. We'll stay focused on the respective markets that JazzHR and Jobvite serve, and we'll continue to offer a holistic experience with NxtThing where it makes sense to do so. So the main point of this is data-driven underlying technology solutions supported by service, but doing so in a way that is simple and intuitive for our customers to navigate. I mean, technology is critical. It's the underpinnings of all this. But when I use my iPhone, I don't love all the technology in it. I love the benefits that it provides to me. And we're approaching our solutions the same way, and that we want to make it's such a competitive market for talent right now. That's only going to become more so as markets continue to improve in the next year or three. And we want to be the provider of simple, easy to use, but powerful data-driven solutions to ensure our customers, combined customers, find the right candidates as fast as they possibly can to accelerate recruiting performance. So continued investment is a big piece of this story as well.
Yep.
Great.
One of the big constituencies here would be the employees of each of the companies. And whenever we do these, I always end up getting feedback that the employees consume these videos because it's as part of this transaction and then looking forward. So I'm just now Jobvite moved, or didn't move, but shifted the headquarters to Indianapolis, and you still have operations on the West Coast, and you have folks distributed all over. Terry, where is the NxtThing headquartered? I know you're in Florida, but is that the base, or?
We are virtual.
Virtual. Oh, okay.
At the beginning, we built a virtual organization, which benefited us during COVID, quite frankly. So I am excited about having an Indianapolis headquarters now. So and look forward to being able to help support that. But we'll continue to grow virtually. For us, it's about hiring recruiters and hiring talent, no matter where they sit, and we've been able to support that.
Yeah. And Pete, how is the JazzHR organization distributed right now?
So our offices are in Pittsburgh and in Boston, and we remain committed to all three offices: Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, and Boston. We don't anticipate any changes, and certainly welcome the remote environment as well. Our kind of overall aggregate headquarters, if you will remain in Indianapolis. There's no change there. So we're committed to the offices and geos and where we're located.
It sounds like
global spaces as well. Our office space in Bangalore, Kitchener. Yeah. So there's a global footprint that we'll continue to take advantage of as well. And through this whole journey, we've had a really significant portion of our workforce that's been virtual, and so we'll continue to modernize how we work, just as the world does.
It sounds like there's a great opportunity to cross-pollinate. You've got people all over the place, and you're probably close to each other already, where when they can get together, they'll be, not we all get together on Zoom now, but when they can get together and work together on accounts and products, you've got probably have a lot of people located in similar areas.
We've got for example, I'm outside of Boston. That's where I live, and there are a number of Jobvite employees in the Boston area, which is wonderful. And once COVID is in the rearview mirror and our offices reopen, really excited to have Jobvite and NxtThing employees into our Boston office. I know that's going to be true in all the offices, right? So that'll be another. It'll help with organizational learning. It'll help with getting to know each other. And while we've all become very comfortable on Zoom, and it's worked remarkably well for the last 13, 14 months, we're looking forward to seeing each other face to face as well. So certainly that cross-pollination of us all coming together really opens up a lot more post-COVID, and we're excited for that.
Yeah, George, cool. If I could maybe add one point. We as CEOs had the opportunity to talk to our employees last week, and then all three of us did, kind of a joint employee call. And I know for myself, I've lived through a couple of acquisitions where we've been acquired, and there's always questions and possible concerns from employees, but I think it's rare when you see three companies actually come together where they're going to keep their distinct brands. I'll say that the reaction from the employees thus far, while there still are a lot of questions, and rightfully so, I think there is genuine excitement about being able to, combine these organizations and really approach the market in a different way. And as a result of that, we get the benefit each other's strengths and their markets to be able to continue to build out the organization. So it's been really rewarding for me to have one-on-ones and group meetings with the teams, just to be able to hear their questions and understand their enthusiasm for this combination as well.
Yeah. Madeline, any closing thoughts or quick questions before we sign off?
No, just a big congratulations. I mean, it's huge news. I'm excited to see what the next year brings. We'll probably need to get back together at some point and talk about just tech companies in cities like Indianapolis and Pittsburgh. I think it's so interesting to think about the growth and the good things that you're bringing to those cities as well.
Yeah. And, Boston used to be a real bastion of talent acquisition, technology, and services, and it sort of waned for a good decade or so. I'm talking to more and more people. I came out of Boston, so I'm very fond of it. That's where Madeline is located now, so it's interesting. There's a little bit of a resurgence in the last few years of activity there. So yeah, that's
Plenty of analysts in Boston.
Yeah.
Bunch of analysts.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Well, great. Congratulations. Thank you so much on the day of the announcement for making time for Madeline and I to help tell the world your story. And yeah, we'll have to get back together and maybe do a send off for Aman. Maybe that's when we can check in on.
I love that.
All right. Okay. Thanks all.
George, thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you.